Hey guys, I'm Brad Doggett, and I'm 22 now, and I'm just finishing up at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. And I'm originally from Northern Virginia, just a few miles outside of DC. And I come from a family of six, and I'm the youngest of four, so I'm the baby. But I always grew up around music. Music was always around. Mostly because my mom always sang in church, and my dad sang and played guitar, and actually my mom played guitar too, and so there was always guitars sitting around, but it was never like shoved into our hands or anything. It kind of came around more naturally, and so my older brothers picked it up as they progressed through high school, and I remember I finally picked it up because my good friend at the time, when I was 14, came over and sat my brother down and asked him to teach him some stuff. And I was sitting there the whole time with nothing in my hands, just thinking about it. And as soon as my friend left, I made my brother sit down again. And I was like, all right, you're going to teach me something. So he ended up teaching me Jingle Bells. And that was the first song I learned. And I guess after that, I just kind of stuck with it. I think with that, when I got better at playing chords and singing and playing at the same time, it just became kind of this addicting feeling of it's almost like I didn't need the radio, and I didn't need I didn't need other music around, because I could create my own music at that point, and I could choose what songs I wanted to listen to because I could play them. And so I guess I just stuck with it. And so in high school, I remember I would do talent shows and stuff like that. But, it never really was, I never really conceptualized it as more than a hobby. Because, growing up, half my family was very conservative Christian, and they only used their musical talent to lead worship in church. And so it was a very humble attitude, mentality about music. It was never about the lights or the fans. It was never about that. So I kind of grew up in an environment where it was like this. It was just like this overwhelming sense of just a hobby. But I still enjoyed to play. And I remember I didn't think of it as much more than a hobby for me either, until I started doing, after I'd been doing the YouTube stuff for a little bit, and I started playing music on YouTube because my girlfriend at the end of high school had just dumped me, and I was like super sad, and I had all this time on my hands, so I was like just getting into YouTube, and I stumbled across these artists, and I've discovered this whole world of cover artists on YouTube that were getting thousands of views and tons of feedback and great comments, playing songs. And I knew a few of the songs. I knew how to play them, and so I guess I was just like, hey, I feel like I could do this. And so I just set up my computer, just like this, and did it in my living room. And I would get a view here and there when it first started, maybe a comment, and I'd be like, yeah, and then I guess over the years it kind of progressed, and I think it started out, all my friends and my family kind of thought it was kind of this quirky, hobby, still a hobby, but now I'm like putting my hobby online. They didn't really think much of it, and granted, I didn't really think that much of it too. But I remember the day that I got like an email about a fan promotion thing, having to do with Wyclef Jean's tour, and it was like a fan gets to open up for Wyclef in every city that he went to, and so they invited me to come open up for him, and I remember that was probably a pivotal point in my life where I was like, maybe I could play for people, and maybe this could be what I do. And I remember, because it was all very new to me, even when I got there, I didn't know what I was doing. They didn't announce me or anything. They just, right before the show started, they looked at me and they were like, "You're on, kid." And I was like, all right, and I just went up and played. But that was a cool time in my life, because I think my friends started, more so being, encouraging, and my parents were always very supportive with music when it was working, when it didn't have anything to do taking away from school. My dad, especially, but my mom too, was very, very concerned about me finishing school, as it should have been. But I guess that was that was a really cool time in my life, and I kept doing the YouTube stuff, and I remember. I would go through different phases of my life where I'd be like, I hate school, I just want to play music, and every time my parents would be like, stay in school. So there's no questions asked there. And I remember nonchalantly talking, even it was last year, about how I was like, oh yeah, I'll graduate when I'll graduate, but my parents ended up sitting me down and saying, I don't know what your friends are doing, I don't know about anyone else, but in this house you graduate in 4 years, and I was like, all right, I couldn't really say much to that. But so this year I took like 1,000 credits a semester. And finally got it over with. I'm just finishing it up now. And what I really want to do now that I have like free time is I really want to try this stuff out. I really think that if I hit the road and shook a few hands and made some calls, I really think that I could make some stuff happen. And I'm mostly just really tired of being in this place and being stuck like in the same place all the time, and it's just very disheartening to be playing in the same place for a couple years, and yet I could schedule a show for a week from now and nobody would be there. And I feel like it's just kind of a waste of time to be here. And so especially for that reason, I think a big audition for me, a big break, would be really cool for me. And not that it's like automatic success. I would have to compete with people that were probably, extremely talented as well. But I would love that. I would love to just get the opportunity. I really think that I could excel in an audition. I've had a lot of experience, like performing, when I was a kid. I'm not going to say I've had mad experience playing for like thousands and thousands of people all at once. But, I would really just love the opportunity, and I think that, a big audition, especially if it has anything to do with TV, that's always been like a huge dream of mine. I've always wanted to, even if it was 10 seconds of me playing on TV, I would just, I would love it. It would be, a dream come true. But, this song that I'm going to play is kind of about being frustrated playing in the same place for really nobody, but also that I wasn't really too worried about it, because I knew that even if I was playing for nobody now, that I'm still practicing and getting better and honing in on my talent for when I do get to play for thousands of people, or hopefully millions of people one day. And so this song is called I Will, and it's about me playing for nobody, but knowing that someday I will. See it all right now, standing outside of my house, staring out into the crowd. Invisible as they may be, it still feels the same to me. I don't need them there to see. You may know me now. I wanna be bigger than this town. Someday I will. Someday I will. Someday I will. Yeah, yeah. Someday I will. Can't stop me now. I already know where I'm headed for. Looking for the street lights, looking for the spotlight, looking for the stages.
the same to me. I promise you this one thing, you might see my face on the TV screen. You may know me now. I wanna be bigger than this town. Someday I will. Someday I will.